Broadcasting live from SETI Alpha 6 in the Andromeda Galaxy, this is Mr. C.
Well, happy Thursday to you. And you know what that means. We can see the weekend from here. So, fantastique. And you've got your do nows going like you do every day, right? So, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Yank for helping us out and subbing. Treat him well. So be really cooperative. So we're about ready to have a pop quiz, so you can put away your notes. It's too late to review. So the promised PQ time has arrived. So you're going to need your textbook, so have it at the ready. Your homework needs to go in your lesson planner. Let's take care of that first. So lesson planners are out. I know you've got yours out. And stick your homework in there. And your homework is up there on the board. Read and highlight pages 13, 14, and 15, and 18 and 19, those 5 pages. Read and highlight them. And then you're going to have some time at the end of the period. You'll probably have 8 to 10 minutes at the end of the period. So in your journal, you're going to list the cell parts that are mentioned. These are called organelles. Organelles. And it sounds like organ. Well, it's like mini organ. That's the idea to them. So you're going to list a whole bunch of organelles that are little parts of cells that do the jobs of cells. So you're going to list those in your journal. So in your journal, in the cell section, you're going to have down cell organelles as a title. It's spelled like it sounds, Organelles, organelles. So you're going to list those. How many are there? Oh, I think there's about 10. Get them all. So get them from page 13, 14, and 15. Read, highlight about them. 18 and 19, list the cell parts and their function, aka their job. What do they do for the cell to keep the cell alive? So stick that in there. So just a quick little weather note. We've had some moisture that unexpectedly came into the state and produced some light showers and clouds, but it's about ready to depart, and we're supposed to have clear nights. So it seems like every time I mention go out and look at the night sky and the planets or the early morning, it gets cloudy. So anyway, I think you're going to have opportunity over the next number of days. So get parents' permission to do that. Get parents' signatures. Check out the planet pairs, Mars and Venus in the morning. Venus more in the east. Mars high in the west. Okay, so anyway, check those out. And then the evening planet pairs, Jupiter and Saturn, and also the Galilean moons. So anyway, I'm going to look tonight for the Galilean moons. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be clear. So looking forward to that. All right, let's do a pop quiz. So if you'll number to 15 on one of your white sheets. Now you were given 2 white sheets when you came in. You'll get a 3rd white sheet later. No, you won't. You only need 2 in your class. 7th grade needed 3. So anyway, you've got your 2 white sheets. One's a cover sheet for the pop quiz. Your notes are already away. Too late to triple R now. So you're numbering to 15. At the top, you can just put pop quiz. Upper right-hand corner, of course, name, date, period. Don't even think about writing any answers until upper right-hand corner, name, date, period. By the way, print your first and last name. I want to be able to read it. I get assignments that come in and I'm going, you need a handwriting analysis person to figure out who this is. So please, legible, readable. All right, pop quiz. Here we go. Numbers 1 through 3. I'll go slow enough so you'll have time. You are RLO students as well. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Right beside number 1, 2, and 3, draw and label the 3 major parts of a human or animal cell. Just keep it right there beside 1, 2, and 3. Quickly, just burp. And then draw arrows or lines to where the 3 parts are located, and then write their names. That's the label part. Draw and label the 3 major parts of a human or an animal cell. I'll give you time to do it, but don't take a lot of time. While you're waiting, keep your answers covered with your cover sheet. All right, number 4 and 5. Plant cells have 2 additional parts that I've mentioned many, many times. What are the 2 additional parts that plant cells have that human and animal cells do not? 1 and 4 and 1 and 5. 2 additional parts that plant cells have that animal and plant cells don't. 1 and 4, 1 and 5. Sound them out if you can't spell them exactly. You don't have a spelling bank. I know, you should know these. I've gone over them half a dozen times. I'm not going to take off if you're slightly off spelling wise. Okay, 6, 7, and 8, the 3 parts of cell theory. You remember that there were 3 scientists who came up with 3 different ideas about cells. There was Schleiden, I think he was German. Schwann, I think he was German as well, but I'm not sure. And Virchow, I don't know what nationality he was. But the 3 of them came up with 3 ideas about cells, and we still use those same ideas today. And they came up with these ideas almost 200 years ago, maybe? No, 150 years ago. Number 1, all living things, and you finish it. Several words. Number 6, all living things. What about them? Now, this is the kind of thing where you're not going, I can't think of it. I don't have enough time to do it. Look, you either know it or you don't. It's in your head. You're supposed to have been triple R'ing all your cell information. So number 6, all living things, cell theory. What about them? Something to do with cells. Number 7, cells are the basic unit of, half a point each. Cells are the basic unit of and So I'll give you time to write them down. Number 1 was all living things. What about them? Number 7, cells are the basic unit of and of a cell. So I gave you the last little part. Cells are the basic unit of and of a cell. I'll come back to these at the end. So it'll be 3 times that we went over them at least. All right, number 8. So number 8, this part of cell theory explained where cells come from. Where do they come from? Where do cells come from? How do you get new cells? Explain. A few words, not a one-word answer. Don't give me a skinny answer. Number 6, all living things. Finish it. Number 7, cells are the basic unit of and of cells. Number 8, how do you get new cells? Where do they come from? Explanation. Number 9, an invention, what do you call it, that makes objects look bigger. There's a name for it. And especially it has to do with tiny things. An object that makes tiny things look bigger so you can see them. So it's not a telescope. An invention that makes objects, tiny objects, look larger than they really are. And number 10, these devices or inventions in number 9 use one thing or the other. You can just put one of the two answers and I'm good. What do these objects or inventions use to make small things look larger? It doesn't make them larger. It doesn't enlarge them. It makes them appear to look larger. What do they use, either or to do that task of making things look bigger, aka magnifying things? Number 11, give 2 things that go into a cell, that a cell needs. 2 things, half a point each, in number 11. 2 things that have to go into the cell, that are requirements for a cell to keep it alive. 2 things that go in. I'll bet I know number 12. I'll bet you do. 2 things that come out in number 12. 2 things in number 11. 2 things out in number 12. There's more than 2, so all you need are 2 in, 2 out. 11 and 12. Again, I'll repeat all of these in a minute, and we'll grade it. All right, 13, 14, and 15. I gave you a little kind of hint, a way to remember the 3 jobs that cells carry out. I gave you this little hint. GRL. I was going to try to pronounce it, but I don't know how you'd pronounce it. Girl. Yes. Without an I. So GRL. So in number 13, write down what G stands for, 14 what the R stands for, and 15 what the L stands for. 3 jobs that cells accomplish or carry out. 13G, a G word, 14 an R word, 15 an L word. GRL. Now I'll repeat these, then we'll grade it. Again, you either know them or you don't. That's what triple R-ing is for. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Draw and label the 3 parts of a human or an animal cell. Point to the exact part, arrow right to it, and then write its name beside at the end of the arrow. 1, 2, and 3. 3 parts of a human or animal cell. There's the 4th time I gave it to you. 4 and 5. 2 additional parts that plant cells have that animals and human cells do not. 1 and 4 and 1 and 5. All right, 6, 7, 8. 3 parts of cell theory. Number 6, all living things. Finish it. Number 7, cells are the basic unit of and half a point each. It's number 7. Number 8, explain how you get new cells. Where do cells come from? Number 8. And you can't put God made them. Cross that off if you put God made them. That doesn't work for me. I want the science answer. Yeah, I know, but what did God do so that you get new cells? So that was number 8. Number 9, an invention that makes tiny things appear to be bigger. It magnifies them. What do you call it? Number 9. And number 10, what do they use? They use a part that accomplishes the job of making those tiny things appear to be bigger. You only need one of the two. Are you giving a bonus? No. Just one or the other. 11 and 12. Number 11, 2 things that go into the cell, 2 cell requirements, 2 things that the cell has to have on a regular basis. In they go. Number 12, 2 things that come out of the cell. Okay, 13, 14, and 15, GRL, the 3 jobs that cells carry out, a G word, 13, an R word, 14, and an L word, 15. So what are they? Okay, red pens out, please. Put your other pen or pencil away. Initials down at the bottom, your promise to me and the Lord, that's what your initials mean, that you will grade this honestly. Your promise to me, your promise to the Lord, that you'll grade it honestly. Okay, here we go. Now, if you wonder whether it's right or not, put a question mark beside it, but I'm probably not going to, move very far from the answers that I give you that I want. In fact, on these first 3, I won't. Here they are, 3 parts of a cell. I've gone over and over and over them. The cell membrane, membrane, membrane. The liquidy inside, thick liquidy, cytoplasm. You don't have to spell it correctly, but it's cytoplasm, cytoplasm. And then in the very center, where the DNA is, the nucleus. So membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. 1 point each. Cell theory, all living things are made of cells. So number 6, are made of cells, all living things. Plants, animals, humans, all made of cells. Number 7, cells are the basic unit of structure for half and function. Structure, function, half each. And number 8, how do you get new cells? They're made from other cells. They divide to reproduce. And I know I did that a number of times when we did GRL. Where do cells come from? They reproduce from other cells. So that was number 8. Number 9, an invention that makes objects look bigger, microscopes. Microscopes. What do they use? They either use, could I bring it? Yeah. They use lenses, convex lenses, or they use a beam of electrons. Or I guess you could put positrons, which is a newer microscope. Or even you could put sound waves if you put that down. Those are the latest and greatest kinds of microscopes and what they use. Okay. All right, 2 things that go in. What do cells need? They've got to have water. They have to have food or nutrients and O2. O2 in, O2 in, and then things that come out. CO2. CO2 out. Carbon dioxide. CO2 out. Excess water out. And wastes out. Half a point each. 2 things in, 2 things out. 13, 14, and 15, GRL, the 3 jobs or functions of cells. G for grow. I know I did that a number of times. R for reproduce. And L for just stay alive or life. things that keep the cell living. Or if you put alive, I'm good with that. Okay. At the top and up here in the left, put the number you missed. Add it up carefully. Number you missed. Subtract from 15. Number right over 15. Number right over 15. You RLO students are going to send this to me, yeah? Your score. Please be honest. Okay. Please put your score over 15. Now, if you miss, say, 2.5, what's your score? 12.5 over 15. Initial your score. Your promise to me again and the Lord that you graded carefully. Okay? All right. Now, if you'll do this, if you'll find in your journal the names of the parts of a microscope. The names of the parts of a microscope. You were supposed to make a drawing? I guess I should just say, find your drawing. And I want to give you the parts of a light microscope now. So, and I'd like you to draw and label these in, please. First, there are two parts that have convex lenses in them, and they cause magnification. This was the same principle that Galileo dealt with that you saw in the video. Remember in that one video it said someone figured out when you put one convex lens behind another, they magnify. And that's the principle in a microscope or a telescope. Okay. Here's where the lenses are. Right here. This is the way you remember eyepiece. By the way, you never put your eyeball on the eyepiece of a microscope or telescope or binoculars. When your eyelashes are touching, you're close enough. When your eyelashes touch. Okay. So eyepiece. The other place that there are lenses are the objective lenses right there. This one has 3, some have 4, some have 2. And it's the combination of these two lenses. You multiply their magnification together to find out or figure out how much they magnify together. Eyepiece, objective lens. Could you spell objective? Sure. objective. Objective. Jective. Objective lens. The eyepiece in this microscope magnifies 10 times. The objectives magnify 4 times, so it would be 4 times 10, 40 magnification, or 10 times 10, 100 magnification, or I think it's 43, so 43 times 10, 430 times. Okay, so eyepiece, objective lens. I'm holding it by the arm. This is the arm right here. The arm. You put the microscope slides on this table right here. It's called the stage. Stage. S-T-A-G-E. Stage. Okay. The bottom of the microscope is the base. The bottom of the microscope, base. B-A-S-E, just like first base, second base, etc. Okay. There's a built-in light that when the battery is charged, it lights up. So this is the built-in light to shine up through the hole in the stage and then through whatever you're looking at, and the light gets magnified. So light source, switch for the light source right there. Okay. So then there is underneath there, you can't see it, but there is what's called a diaphragm that opens and closes the opening and lets more or less light through. I call it a darkener. The diaphragm is a darkener. It can show, if it darkens up, sometimes it's a little easier to see. Could you spell diaphragm? I think it's diaphragm. Here it is again, diaphragm. diaphragm, diaphragm, right there underneath the stage. Okay. All right. This is the rough focusing knob right here. It moves the objective lenses up and down quickly, and you quickly get into sort of focus. Rough focusing knob. It's not fine, sharp focus. It's rough. Rough focusing knob. Right there. Rough focusing knob. Focusing, Focusing. Rough focusing knob. And then down below is the fine focusing knob. It brings the object into sharp focus. So you get into focus with the rough focusing knob, and then you sharpen it up with the fine focus. Rough focusing knob, fine focusing knob. Now I think I've got all the parts. Oh, this right here. Where the objective lenses are, it looks kind of like a nose sticking out of the microscope, so it's called a nose piece. Nose and piece go together. Nose piece. Nose piece. Okay. Now I'll go over those again. I'm running out of time. I've got to tell you about the homework and turn you loose on the homework. Okay? You're going to have some time in class to work on your homework. You won't finish. Now, I want you to get right to work. So your textbook is out. Turn to page 13. So you're going to read and highlight 13, 14, and 15. It's on the board. And then pages 18 and 19. And then in your journal, have a part where you put at the top cell organelles, Organelle. Did it before. Cell organelle. Put the names of the cell organelles down as you read about them, their name and then their major job, their function in your journal. How many are there? I think at least 10. At least 10 cell organelles. Okay? I want to hear a good report from Mr. Yank tomorrow about how well you went right to work and you worked like a beaver. They work hard. I want you to work hard now. Get as much done as you can. When you're given in-class time for homework, you should welcome it. You should take advantage of it. I always wanted to get my homework done at school when I was in school, especially high school, if I could. So when I was given time, I worked hard. So, I'll bet you didn't. I did. Yeah, I did. I was a hard worker. So, okay. So anyway, get a lot done. I will see you on Happy Aloha Friday, and I will be sporting my Happy Aloha shirt.